ever make my videos, but this one is going to be a live stream, but it's not going to be a particularly long one. I'm back to my 5 days at UPS. I'm actually glad about it. I'm just pissed off I'm not able to work tomorrow because tomorrow's Memorial Day, and for UPS that is double time pay. Um, so I'm going to lose out on my double time pay because they won't let me work. Two things I do want to show you guys, besides being back on my 5 days, which I'm glad about. I got these headphones yesterday, and these are AI translated headphones. These will translate every language that's basically known to man, except for there's only like 150 languages that it translates. So that's great. So basically, if you're speaking to somebody and you don't know the language you're speaking, this will translate it. It's like any like those cases. You do gotta charge them. There's the charging port back there. They got some really good reviews on it. This cost me about $60, 60 or $65 off of Amazon to order this. And they're good to have if you ever want to talk to somebody who doesn't know like your language or something like that. So I speak English more than anything, but I don't know a lot of other languages. I do know some Spanish, but if I want to understand what a Spanish person's saying, that would translate it into English. Also, I started using this app called Flip. It's similar to YouTube. You can post videos, except that Flip pays you without having any subscribers. So here, I posted some videos on Flip. If you ever want to follow me on Flip, there's my username. Right here it shows I made $11.78 off the videos. Even though I haven't posted that many videos yet, I just downloaded it a few days ago. But we'll close that one out. And down here, there's some more videos. And this tells you that I got five views off one video and counting, 39 on one, 114 on the other, and 113 and 158. Those are the amount of views I have on the videos. So that's just a start. If you ever want to follow me on that, but you don't have to. But Flip is an alternative to making money if you can't get your YouTube channel to go. That would be like a backup choice. Last week I saw Emma and the Dilemma in concert. They're going to be in Lamont on June 7th. I'm going to try to go because she wasn't a bad singer. But now I'm going to try to go to Lamont to go see her at the bar that she's going to be at. And the music wasn't too bad, so I don't know what anybody's plans for Memorial Day are, because tomorrow's Memorial Day. So I don't know if anybody's planning on cooking out or just traveling somewhere. I know some people do get drunk on Memorial Day. I've never really done that. My birthday is 3 weeks away, so I'm probably not going to have anything up on my birthday, which is June 23rd, because I got to work that day, and I might have school, and then I'm hanging out with a couple friends. They're taking me out for dinner for my birthday, so that's what we're going to do. And it feels like this year just started, but damn, it's like this weekend we're going to be in June already. It's like half of the year is already gone, just that fast. It seems like this year is moving too fast for my liking on that. I also just reached season 13 of Chicago Fire. Every year, I've thought about it, but I'm not one to really want to act. Every year they will actually do an extras casting where they pick and choose who they want on the cast. I've always thought about it because you do get paid for it. I've just always thought about, do I really want to do it? Do I really not? Just to make extra money on the side. But nah, I don't know if I'm ever gonna do it. Like, ever act in a part to get money. And I also brought one of the longest books known to man pertaining to baseball statistics. Let me go get that. Because like I said, I am a big baseball fan when it comes to the Cubs, and I'm also a big basketball fan when it comes to the Bulls. But shit, this thing's heavy. Fuck me. Yeah, this fucking thing's heavy. But yeah. So here we go. Ugh. Now this right here is the longest book I've ever brought. Right here, and you can see how long this book is. It's a baseball encyclopedia breaking down every statistics for baseball. This thing is about, I'll tell you in a minute here, one out. I was actually with my roommate when we brought this book, and he saw me pick it up, and he's like, "You're gonna buy that?" I'm like, "Damn right I am. I love my baseball statistics." But you can also find baseball statistics off the computer too, so it's not just buying the book. If you want more accurate statistics, like in these baseball books, they don't have the Negro leagues that used to exist 60 years ago, but you can find those stats online on the Major League website, where you can look up baseball statistics. So, but there's that. Hold on a second here. Also, you can find the Japanese statistics for Japanese players on the MLB website. But in these type of baseball books, you don't always have them. These also have certain team names that used to exist years ago, but not anymore. But so here, first name in the baseball book is Hank Aaron, Hammerin' Hank, who held the record for home runs until it was broken by Barry Bonds. Hank Aaron had a brother named Tommy, but Tommy wasn't that good as Hank. One record that I don't, there's a lot of records that I don't think will be broken, and I can name off several of them that I don't think will be. One is Rickey Henderson's stolen base record. Rickey Henderson stole 1,406 stolen bases. That's a record that still stands today. I don't think that record's ever going to be broken. Second one is Cy Young's career wins. Cy Young was a pitcher who pitched back in the 1890s up until 1911, and he holds the record for 511 career wins, and I don't think that record's ever going to be broken. Third would be Nolan Ryan's record of the most strikeouts for a pitcher in a 27-year career. Nolan Ryan played from 1966 to 1993, and he was a pitcher when he started pitching baseball in 1966. He was 19, and when he retired from the majors in 1993, he was 46. And he holds the record for striking out 5,714 batters, which is still a record that stands today. Barry Bonds currently holds the record for 762 homers, which is a record that still stands today and that has not been topped. I don't think anybody that's playing as of right now is even anywhere close. But I don't think there's any Negro League sections in here in this book, but you can find them online. Satchel Paige was another one that was a Negro League player that also did have a brief time in the majors. And Satchel Paige holds the record for being the oldest pitcher to pitch a game at the age of 59 in 1965. And he had pitched then, and he was like the oldest pitcher to pitch in a game. Jamie Moyer did once in 2012 when he was like 49 or 50, but not many people ever really pitch that long anymore. But this book might be a little bit outdated, but still. because on here, they have Moises Alou's name listed from 1990, but it stops at 95 to be continued. Yeah, this book's outdated, but still it's good to have. But then if you want more, if you want the rest of the statistics, just go on Major League Baseball to find it. So like, let's go right here. So like this right here, you got your list right here of Major League players. If you go down, you'll see this on here. I use this whenever I want to look up a player statistics for baseball, and then you got Major League players with current greats, all-time greats, Major League teams. If you ever want to look up a specific team with the players, then you got seasons that you're looking for, playoffs, awards. They also have a manager site if you want to look up a manager that's currently managing a certain team. Then goes right here. You got minor, foreign, and college, and the Negro League Baseball. You also got Mexican League, Winter League, Independent League, Korean, Nippon. That's Japanese. You also got Cuban. Yeah, so like I said, you can find anything on this website. Same thing with the list of NBA players. They also got one for WNBA. If you ever want to look at WNBA players, like let's take a look at this one here. We'll just type in a name here. Caitlin Clark. Yesterday she had somewhat of a decent game, but she was off on threes yesterday. She went 2 for 11 on 3-point shots. And this is her second season in the WNBA. Also, if you want to check it out, I did post a video yesterday on my other channel, Rusty the King, where I posted a video on St. Patrick. If you're interested, you can go check it out over there. That video got 160 something views, which is kind of surprising to me because I'm so used to my videos not getting a whole lot of views. But it's actually kind of a good thing that I posted that video and I got more views than what I thought I would get. Oh, damn. I said 4 games into the WNBA season, and Caitlin Clark's already got 76 points in the season. But she does have 133 career three-pointers. 122 of those came last year, and she's got 11 made this year. Like I said, it's still early in the season to really determine what might happen. We did have the guy from Cheers die. There was a guy that was on the TV show Cheers, the one that played Norman, and he died. Guy was like 76 years old. But I never really saw Cheers anyway. It's not really a show that I even cared to get or even got into. But let's see here. I'm also back to doing live streams on Instagram if anybody's interested in that too. I basically started doing Instagram videos again after a while, after not doing anything. I do gotta find some time this week to get to my college, to get my new books for my new class. My new class starts in a couple of weeks, and I want to make sure I have my books before then. Nothing like a last minute scramble sometimes when you're trying to find a way to get money for it. check this one out here. Yeah, what was stupid though is that UPS, my job, has bad communication. And yes, I'm back to my 5 days, but they didn't bother to tell me that I was back to my 5 days. I was supposed to work Thursday, but they didn't bother to tell me. And then eventually my supervisor messages me on Thursday morning and says, you were supposed to work today, but they didn't bother to tell me that. And then he says, if you want to, you can work Friday. So I came in and worked Friday to make up for what I lost on Thursday. And then at the last minute, they decided to move me from the back portion of my outbound to the front portion of the outbound, which I don't mind, but they didn't bother to tell me that until after I got there. I'm like, you should have told me this in the message when you sent it to me on Thursday. But obviously they didn't. You know, like I said, it's all bad communication with them. Yeah, that's going to be something they need to work on. Yeah. So let's see, we got WNBA starting. Baseball's already 30, 40 games in for the Major League Baseball. Let's go to ESPN up here and try to type that in. Let's go to, yeah, right here. Miguel Amaya for the Cubs went down with an injury, so the Cubs had to make a call up. Now they called up a guy I'd never heard of, Reese McGuire, so he's filling in. The Rangers' Jack Peterson is put on the DL. Alex Bregman's also on the injured list. Ohtani is back to throwing batting practice. Ohtani has not thrown a baseball in a little over a year or two. He has not pitched this year at all, so I guess that could be a step in the direction of him coming back possibly. But who knows? That's embarrassing. The Cubs are intentionally losing 8-4 against the shitty fucking Reds. Obviously this is a game that they should be winning because Cincinnati has nobody. I'm like, damn, they couldn't even beat them yesterday and they can't even beat them today. That's fucking embarrassing. But the Sox are on pace to lose the most games again like they did last year, so let's see if that happens. Last year the White Sox lost 100 games. Let's see if they can do that again. This year they're 17-35. At least that's what their record is now. I gotta find out today what my paycheck's gonna be this Thursday. It should come up on my phone here. I mean, well, not just my phone, but it also should come up on the computer screen when I look it up. Let's see here. You got a thing on here called Time Code Viewer. It's probably going to ask me to put my info in again.
A couple of bricks through the window, shattered.
Let's see this here. No data found. Okay. According to list, this is 368. Okay. That's before taxes. go here. Okay, so yeah, anytime I do more than 5 hours at UPS, I get overtime, at time and a half. If I work on any holidays or Sunday, then it's double time. But there's no guarantee that you're ever gonna get double time. That you're ever gonna get double time unless you come in on the holidays, unless they don't do any fucking call-offs. That's why I'm not able to work tomorrow because they did a fucking call-off that went back until 2023. So I'm kind of pissed off that I can't get my double time pay tomorrow. 4th of July will be the next one if you work it. If they have a shift open, that is. There's no guarantee about that one either. Black Friday is also double time. I worked Martin Luther King Day. Martin Luther King Day was double time. Then the next one will be Black Friday. And then you do get paid for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day and New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, but I don't think those are double time. Those are just regular straight time pay. Because they're not open on those particular days. So here's the breakdown of what I made on these days. Now I know I don't think UPS really cares if I show you this, but obviously that's up to them. So right here are the days that I worked. You can see Monday, where it says pay actual. You got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I missed Thursday because they didn't bother to tell me that I was allowed to work that day, and then Friday. So I worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I get credit for those 4 days. Now I don't know how to determine these. This might be a 4 o'clock start time. Like I said, if you do anything more than 5 hours, like right here, I got 5 hours. And then $107 that day. On Tuesday, 4:30 start time. I was out by 8 something. Yeah, I think I was out by 8. If you, their breaks are only 10 minutes. But if you don't take them, they still got to put it in, so you get paid for it. Because I only worked like 3 hours or something, it was $66. If I had stayed a little bit longer, I would have gotten more. Right here, this was a 4 something start time. I don't know what 483 is, especially not offhand. This is 4 hours and 40. I think this was 4 hours and 45 minutes, and I got $99. And then on Friday, I came in and worked 4.5 hours and got 94. Anytime you go over 5 hours, your checks are going to look at your for those days. You'll be making over $100 on any of those days, particularly. That's why my check is showing $107 on Friday for coming in. For Tuesday anyway, because I made $107 for that Monday. So like I said, these are kind of great to keep in track. You can also check your benefits on here. Let's see, pay and benefits. Like to check out anything on here. Even UPS has their own shopping store online. That's another thing. You got the employee discounted employee stock purchase program, health and benefits. You also got your own store to shop at called Shopping Hub Benefit. I think that's on here, but I have to look. Like I said, I've only been at UPS for like 8 months, almost 9. This September will be a year that I've actually worked for them. If I stay for 25 years, I'm entitled to a pension. If I stay the 25 years, that is. Nobody ever really stays that long anyway, unless you're really desperate and need a job. I'm trying to find the store thing on here. Okay, I'm not seeing that. I'm surprised. I do not remember this in here. Okay. trying to find it, but I know it's in here. Also, UPS has a referral program. If you ever decide to refer somebody to UPS and they stay past a certain amount of time, you get $500. But they have a cutoff for how many people you can refer in a year. Let's see if I can get this up here. Yeah, right here, Shopping Center for UPS, Benefit Hub. You can get a whole bunch of stuff offline for UPS if you ever decide to. You can get deals on vacation, deals on electronics, deals on cars. This is actually on the UPS website for the portal. I haven't really brought anything off the UPS website, but you got everyday savings. You got deals on electronics for like computers and cell phones, radios. You got tickets for like movies and whatever else. Travel if you ever want to go on vacation. If you're ever looking for your home, if you ever want to look for a home, they can provide for that too. Education and e-learning, sports and fitness. If you ever want to go to the gym and work out, they got stuff on this. They also got deals on iPhones, like you got your MacBook, iPad accessories. This T-Mobile work perks if you ever want to do T-Mobile stuff. So I'm more of a traveling guy. They also got deals on cruises if you ever want to take a cruise. Even though I haven't been on a cruise, but that'll be something that I would want to do eventually down the line. Okay, so here it says apparel and accessories. Let's see, travel might be travel. Let's see. Let's go with cruises and see if I can find anything on cruises. Okay, so here's the cruises that they offer for taking vacations on cruises. You got your Oceania Cruise, Celebrity Cruises, Disney Cruise, Cruise and Vacation Desk, Carnival Cruise Lines, Princess Cruises, Regent Cruises, Azamara Club Cruises, Viking River Cruises, Norwegian, and then that's really it. Okay, let's go back here. You get 3% cash back if you do the Oceania Cruise. Then you got the Carnival Cruise. It says save up to 20%. Like I said, this is all done. This will only happen if I ever. You also got travel insurance where you can save up to 40% on the travel insurance. But like I said, this is a pretty good thing to have and to look at if you ever want to go on vacation and do a cruise. This would be a very good option. But yeah. Also in August, I'm celebrating my 7th year on YouTube. That's actually a big milestone improvement to being on YouTube for 7 years since 2018. Yeah, 7 years really does fly. I'm like, damn. I'm like, and who knew that I would be on YouTube for 7 years trying to make something go, you know. And I'm due for a haircut too. It's like my hair's getting fucking long. It's growing into my face, and then eventually it's gonna go into my eyes to the point where I can't see. So that's gonna be another thing, is trying to get my hair cut. Then I won't look as bad. But I don't know if I should do it, but I'm pretty sure I can. One of the guys, I don't know how he does it. There's a guy that follows me on YouTube, Lanky Hustles. He is a trucker I used to work with over at Valvoline Instant Oil, about 3 years ago, and he only did it. He only worked there, at Valvoline just because at the time he needed a job. Um, but his time was short at Valvoline. He only worked there from July to November, and he said that something had to change due to the fact that it wasn't making him any money. And then he became a bus driver. Um, I'm thinking if I spell his name right. Let me see. No, I think I might have misspelled it. Hold on. Yeah, I might have misspelled it. Hold on. Oh, yeah, I did. Okay, I put an S instead of a Z. Yep, here we go. And he actually gave me a shout out on one of his videos. So this video here called My Experience. After he quit Valvoline, he took a job working for a school bus, and he eventually ended up leaving. But in this video here called My Experience as a School Bus Driver, Don't Do It, he references my YouTube channel, and gave me a shout out. So I felt that I could do him the same respect and give a shout out in my video of him if you ever want to check out his videos. He's currently working as a truck driver for Schneider. So that's what he does right now, and it pays him pretty good. And you can see on here all the videos of him doing his trucking journey. There's one like something called OTR Trucking. Basically, he has his gig with Schneider. He also talks about his training and how it is. Now, I don't know how he does it, but it's not his voice on the videos. He actually has an editor that does the narration and the voiceovers. I don't know how he got money for that. But I don't have an editor. I don't have a voiceover person to do voiceovers for me. And I don't know if he writes a script or not, but that's maybe something I should think about doing too. Just writing down words on a piece of paper and reading it off. I don't usually have a script for how I do my videos. I just basically just talk from what I'm thinking in my head. Not a bad option, but who knows. But if you want to check him out, feel free to. But his name is Lanky Hustles. Like I said, he gave me a shout out in his video, and I might as well do the same and give a shout out back to him if you're ever interested in trucking videos, and he'll be a good one to watch. Just so you spell the word name right, that's his name up there. Now, even though his YouTube name is Lanky, his real name is Darius. But he's pretty cool. And he's a tall and he's a tall guy too. If you ever come across him, he's like 6'5" or 6'6". But I used to work with him at Valvoline in the car wash portion, which he mentions in the bus video where he talks about the school bus driving. He mentions doing the car wash and the trucking, and I used to work with him in the car wash. But like I said, I don't have much more to talk about. I didn't plan on making this video too long. But yeah. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be back next week. I might, if I go to the bar next on June 7th, I'll probably record Emma and the Dilemma again, like I did last week, and try and see and tell me how you guys like her music. If you watched that one video from the live stream last week, and tell me if you liked her or not, and then I'll put up another one in the next week or two when I go see her again in Lamont, if I can find a way to get there. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be back in the next week or two.